Hi, my name's Dave Boyne, the creator of EventCatalog Studio. In this video, I want to quickly show you how you can get started with the canvas. So here it is, I've logged into EventCatalog Studio, and on the left, what we're going to do is actually start drawing some of these things using the architecture primitives that EventCatalog Studio uses. So I'm going to click on this components thing, and you can see down here we have a bunch of nodes that we can start dragging into our canvas. So for example, I drag a service into the dashboard, and as you can see, we have this into the canvas. If I click edit, we're going to call this the payment service as an example, and a service to handle payment. So a service here may represent, could represent a function, could represent a container, could represent a microservice, whatever it is that you want to do. Now, typically, services that accept and receive different types of messages. So what we're going to do here is drag an event in, and we're going to connect the nodes using these dots here. And then you can see that this service is now publishing this type of message. We go over here, we can edit this message, and we can just say payment completed as an example, okay? We can also say that the service accepts different types of messages, like a command, and the command may be something like, the payment, create payment as an example, right? What we might also want to do in this example is move some of these services. We can delete some of the nodes and the connections by clicking this cross. We're going to introduce a channel. Now a channel is like a particular kind of message bus, I guess, a channel, how the message is delivered. So what we can do is actually put the channel, and then we put the channel to the service. So in this case, we can use the channel. Let's just say this is just a simple HTTP protocol as an example. So we can see this coming here. But the event on the other side, if we delete this, what we can do is duplicate this node by right clicking, and then we can have this over here, and we can do this like that. And then we can say, okay, this is actually in fact a message queue, and let's just say this is an SQS different thing, SQS queue, and we can say it's going to publish this message. We can come here, copy and paste on the keyboard, and we can keep going. In fact, we can keep going and going and going, adding as many of these things as we want, like data nodes, saying that this service has these particular data elements on it. This could be our database. We can come in here and add particular notes. Please review this, whatever else, okay? So kind of typical what you kind of expect. Once you've done that, we can use the thing at the top here to say what our design is. So new design, as you can see there. And then we can go to actions. So if we click on this, we can go to actions. We can actually save this locally, and we can also open designs locally. Everything you do here is private and stored in your browser, and also stored on your machine. There is no data here that is shared with EventCatalog Studio at all. You can use the canvas here to actually go through these things and click on nodes and quickly find things that you want. And you can also use this to actually add documentation to your particular design. So we can just start with a heading. Let's call it the payment service. And we can use this as like an architecture decision record or something like that. And what we can do is we can actually use the @ symbol here to reference any node in our diagram. And we can do the payment service, we'll raise the events, payment complete, and payment completed. Obviously they're the same because we copied them. And this is the kind of thing really, you can keep going, add as much as you want. We can do code blocks here. If you wanted to share any code with some people and select particular languages, we do markdown there and anything else. So now this document is associated to this design, and when we save this and load this, the document will also be loaded and shared. Other things you can do in the view, you can show things, you can go to help, leave feedback if you want to leave feedback, but you can also go back to the dashboard, and this is where your designs will be saved. As you can see here, we have this new design. Remember, everything is stored locally and private. Again, nothing is shared here. So you can come here, you can clone them, rename them, delete them if you want to. And if you scroll down here, you can also use some of the templates, and there's plenty of documentation on this and how to use that. You can also invite team members to your organization. You can rename your organization and remove teams, add teams, change their roles, and all sorts of things. Again, all of this is on the documentation side. So it's just a quick introduction to EventCatalog Studio. Hopefully it's intuitive enough for you to get started. If you'd like to join, feel free to join Discord if you've got any feedback, or leave feedback on our GitHub pages, and happy designing.